Thank you, Devin. And we are happy to have on the show now Nate Shepard of the Hilgermann Center here in Rhinelander. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, it's an exciting time of year. It's feeling a little cooler out. There's a little magic in the air. And it's also a special anniversary coming up for you and the Hilgermann Center here. Is that right?
Yeah. So my wife and I opened the Hilgermann Center 1 year ago during the holiday open house in downtown Rhinelander. And so we decided to celebrate a little bit in style. We've got a couple of events happening this weekend in conjunction with all of the other festivities around town.
Oh, goodness. Now, walk us through a little bit about what is the Hilgermann Center? How did that dream sort of come about?
Yeah, so my wife and I, for a number of years, have been looking for a place. I do have a media business, and so I've been looking for a place to have my studio, and I was like, well, rather than rent, why don't we just buy a building? And so we ended up having the opportunity to buy this historic building that was built in 1915 by Otto Hilgermann. Otto Hilgermann had a significant stake in the Rhinelander Brewing Company and a number of different properties around town, and so that's the reason we chose to name it the Hilgermann Center. Just figured we'd name it after him. The stone, his name is etched in stone. We figured
it's a large, beautiful building right downtown. So I guess you went big when you thought what building we want.
We've got a couple of businesses in the space that rent from us. I have my studio. We have Crate Diggers Music and More and Child's Frame Company, and then we have a community space in the back that we use for different events. It can be rented for private things, but then as is the case this weekend, we'll be having a couple of events in the space that are free and open to the public.
Yes, and there's going to be some nice visuals with it as well. You do a lot of, as you said, media and visual arts as well. So what is it going to be looking like? I know we have the banner right up there. What is it looking like this weekend if people walk in there?
Yeah, so in the evening on Saturday from 7 to 9, we're doing an open house type thing where I'm a multimedia artist, and so I figured out how to projection map, which means that you use all of this geometry to figure out how to put an image on the walls. You can see images of it there. That was a test drive that I did a number of weeks ago, and so the idea is just to have this really fun, immersive experience for people who come into the building. We'll have some, mocktails and snacks and things available, but just a time to come and hang out in a pretty unique environment.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if you've heard of this, like the Sphere.
I do. I'm trying to be Rhinelander's Vegas Sphere, but it's much smaller, so I don't want to like oversell what we're doing here. But that's the idea. It's to have a fully immersive, there's sound and lights and all of that.
I only know of that thing because a friend was telling me about it. They keep going back to the same, they keep going to it because it's such a wild experience. And it's the same, I think it was the Eagles band was playing in it. And it's just such a wild thing to be surrounded by this art and the visuals, and it feels like you're inside of it. So it's cool to bring that right here to Rhinelander.
I think it'll be a really fun experience for people.
And besides the fun 7 to 9 p.m. open house that you guys are having, what else is going on Saturday? I understand that it's kind of a big day for the holiday shopping here.
So again, downtown Rhinelander, we have this weekend, Friday night and Saturday, a bunch of businesses will be open for holiday shopping and things like that. And so as a part of that, what we love to do with our community space is that there are these smaller businesses that don't necessarily have storefront that need opportunities to be a part of these downtown shopping events. And so from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. we actually have a vendor market with I think 8 or 9 different vendors from just small businesses. They'll be bringing in their stuff to sell. It's quite a wide variety. We try to make sure we have a good variety within the space. So you can walk in, I mean, you could do all of your shopping just at the Hilgermann Center because we have 2 regular businesses and then a bunch of extra vendors that'll be there as well. So you can get all your holiday shopping done and then come back in the evening for a nice little party to celebrate 1 year being in business for us.
That is certainly a nice Saturday shaping up, especially it's indoors. And I'm sure you're very aware of how chilly it has been this week. And I think that's what we're going to be in store for the foreseeable future. So being inside, seeing all these vendors, under one roof, it's certainly going to be a nice experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, for folks looking to get a little more information or just see what the Hilgermann Hilgermann's all about, where can they go to visit your site?
Yep, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, the Hilgermann, or just thehilgermann.com is the place to go. And I try to put all the information on any events that that we have happening, and there's always something going on. It's hard to keep track of.
And speaking of the Hilgermann Center and what it means to you, it sounds like there's also a fun little mascot you have for it as well.
So some people know that the Hilgermann building is considered one of the more haunted buildings in Rhinelander. There's been various ghost sightings. Most notably, Mr. Hilgermann himself has been seen a couple of times. But the big ghost that we've run across recently is he's actually more hodag than a traditional ghost. We call him the Hodag Man. And so he's a very dapper, well-dressed hodag that haunts the upper halls of the Hilgermann, we say. And so we have, it's just been fun. We worked with a local artist to sketch a drawing of him, and we now have stickers that will be for sale at the holiday market if you're interested in owning a little piece of Hodagman history. And we also actually, we're doing a yearly project of creating custom Christmas postcards that feature the Hilgermann. And so we have last year's postcard. We're not quite ready with this year's yet, but we'll have last year's postcard ready. It's just this painterly, very Christmassy postcard featuring the Hilgermann. So all of that will be available for sale at the market as well. But so it's just a fun way. We've been really trying to find some ways to put our unique stamp on things.
Everyone's got to have their own Hodag.
Everyone's got to have their own Hodag. And we're like, what about the Hodagman?
There you go.
And so it's fun.
I like it. It's certainly a creative twist on it, and appreciate you taking the time this morning. Hopefully folks come on out Saturday. There's the holiday market. There's also the open house later in the evening with that experience.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Nate. Appreciate it. We'll be right back with your morning dose of What's Trending.